He found the voicemail by accident. He was sitting in his car outside a gas station, waiting for the rain to slow down. His thumb moved through old messages, old contacts, old calls he never answered. Then he saw it. Unknown caller. October 14th, 2018. 45 seconds. He did not remember saving it. He did not remember missing the call. But something about the date made his chest tighten. His finger hovered over the blue play button. For a moment, he almost deleted it. It was probably nothing. A wrong number, a sales call, a voice from a life that no longer mattered. But the car was quiet. The rain tapped softly on the windshield. The phone glowed in his hand. And then, before he could talk himself out of it, he pressed play. There was static first, then breathing. Then a voice he had not heard in years said his name, and everything inside him went silent. At first, he did not recognize the voice. It sounded smaller than memory, far away, covered by static, rain, and the old noise of a cheap phone speaker. Then the voice said his name again, and he knew. It was Mark, his old friend from another part of his life. Not a best friend anymore, not recently, but once. The kind of friend who could call without explaining why, the kind who knew where he kept the spare key, the kind who had seen him tired, angry, hopeful, and still stayed. He had not heard Mark's voice in years, not because of a fight, not because of some dramatic ending. Life had simply moved things apart. Work, bills, missed calls, long weeks, short replies. One message answered too late, then another. Then silence became normal. He held the phone closer. The voicemail kept playing, and Mark's voice said, "Hey man, I know you're probably busy, but call me back when you can. I need to tell you something." The voicemail ended there. No explanation, no second message, no follow-up, just that one sentence, left hanging in the car. "I need to tell you something." He stared at the screen, then played it again. This time, he listened differently, not to the words, to the space between them. The small pause before Mark said his name, the way his voice tried to sound casual, but failed, the tired breath before. "I know you're probably busy." That part hurt more than he expected, because it sounded familiar. Too familiar. People had been saying that to him for years. "You're probably busy," when they wanted to call, when they stopped asking, when they slowly learned not to expect much from him. He looked at the date again, October 14th, 2018. He tried to remember that week, what he was doing, what felt so important, what could have made him ignore a friend who said he needed to tell him something. But nothing came back, only the rain, the screen, and a voice from years ago and still waiting for a call. That never came. He tried to remember that week, October 14th, 2018, a Sunday, or maybe a Monday. He was not sure. He opened his calendar and scrolled back through the years. The screen moved slowly, month after month, year after year, until the date appeared. There was nothing special there. No funeral, no emergency, no impossible deadline, just ordinary things. Oil change, dentist appointment, team meeting, pay electric bill, pick up dry cleaning, a life full of small boxes, checked and forgotten. He stared at the calendar, waiting for some excuse to appear, something big enough to explain why he never called back. But there was nothing. Only proof that he had been busy, with things he could not even remember now. That was what made his stomach turn. Not that he had ignored Mark on purpose, but that he had ignored him casually, like one human voice could be placed beside errands, notifications, and bills, and simply disappear. He looked back at the voicemail. 45 seconds. That was all Mark had asked for, and somehow he had never found the time. He searched Mark's name. For a second, nothing appeared. Then the old thread came back. Messages from another life, photos from a road trip, a joke he did not remember, a restaurant they used to hate, but kept going back to anyway. He scrolled slowly. At first, the messages were long. Whole paragraphs, plans, stories, stupid updates from the middle of the day. Then they became shorter. You free this weekend? Maybe. Call me later. Yeah, soon. You good? Just tired. The dates moved forward. The warmth got thinner, not gone, just thinner, like a light slowly losing power. Then he saw his own last message. Sorry, man. This week is crazy. I'll call you tomorrow. He stared at it. Tomorrow. That word sat on the screen. Small, harmless, and almost cruel. Because tomorrow had come. Then another tomorrow. Then hundreds of them. And somewhere inside all those normal days, a friendship had been left waiting, beside a promise he never meant to break. Pressed Mark's name. For a second, the phone showed the old contact photo. Mark laughing in the passenger seat, wearing sunglasses, holding a gas station coffee, like the whole world was still open. Then he tapped call. The phone rang once, then twice. Then the sound changed. A flat voice came through the speaker. The number you have dialed is no longer in service. He lowered the phone slowly. No anger, no answer, no chance to explain. Just a number that had stopped belonging to anyone. He looked at Mark's name on the screen, still saved, still familiar, still sitting in his contacts, like something preserved. But what was the point of saving a number if you stopped calling the person? He had kept the contact, kept the thread, kept the voicemail, kept the evidence, but somehow he had not kept the friendship. Outside the car, the rain kept falling. People walked in and out of the gas station, carrying coffee, umbrellas, plastic bags, small pieces of ordinary life, and he sat there, holding a dead number and finally understanding that some doors do not slam shut, they just stop opening. He opened the old photos, not because he wanted to, because his hands needed somewhere to go. He searched Mark's name first. Nothing. Then he searched the year, 2018. The screen filled with small square pieces from a life that looked lighter than he remembered. Gas station coffee, a road sign at sunset, a motel room with bad curtains, 2 paper cups on the dashboard. Then he saw Mark, passenger seat, sunglasses, one arm out the window, laughing at something outside the frame. He remembered taking that photo. They had been driving nowhere important, no plan, no schedule, just 2 men wasting a Saturday, like they still believed time could be wasted, without becoming regret. He zoomed in on Mark's face. There was no warning in it, no sadness, no goodbye, just a friend, still close enough to be ordinary. That was the part that hurt. Some people do not disappear from your life because something happens. They disappear because nothing happens. No call, no visit, no answer, no effort. Just a little less, again and again. Until one day, a person who once knew everything about you becomes a name your phone can no longer reach. He kept scrolling. More photos appeared. Not important ones. Not the kind people print or frame or post with long captions. Just small things. Mark holding 2 terrible hot dogs. Outside a gas station. Mark pointing at a broken vending machine. Mark asleep in the passenger seat out with his mouth open. A receipt from a diner where they had stayed too long. because neither of them wanted to go home yet. He almost smiled. Then the smile disappeared, because those photos were not about the places. They were about the ease, the way they could sit in silence and without explaining it, the way a boring afternoon and could become a memory, just because someone else was there. He looked at himself in one of the pictures, younger, less guarded, still tired, but reachable, still capable of answering a call, without feeling interrupted by it. That was what hurt. Mark had not only been a friend, he had been proof that once, his life had room for people. Real room. Not leftover time, not delayed replies, not promises for tomorrow, room. He went back to the voicemail. Unknown caller. October 14th, 2018. 45 seconds. He played it again. Not because he expected the words to change, but because part of him still wanted Mark to say one more thing, to explain, to forgive him, to make the ending easier to understand. But the message stayed the same, static, breathing, his name. Then, "I know you're probably busy." He closed his eyes. That sentence felt different now, not angry, not accusing, almost gentle, like Mark had already made room for being forgotten. He opened a blank note on his phone. For a while, he just stared at it. Then he typed, "I'm sorry I disappeared." He looked at the sentence. It was too small, too late, too useless. But it was true. So he kept typing. "I should have called you back. I don't know what you needed to tell me, and maybe I never will. But I heard you today." He stopped there. The rain kept moving across the windshield. The gas station lights blurred outside. He did not send the message. There was nowhere to send it. But for the first time in years, he had answered. He did not delete the voicemail. He just changed the contact name and from unknown caller to Mark. Then he placed the phone on the passenger seat and listened to the rain. Nothing was fixed. No friendship returned. But the voice was no longer buried. He had been busy, he had been absent, he had been late. But today, for 45 seconds, he finally listened. Then he started the car and drove home, a little quieter than before.